Hello everyone, Slayer of Demons here. I'm going to be taking a closer look at Meiko, the Yokai Slayer, the hero skin for Kensei that came out in Year 6, Season 3. I'm going to be talking about her lore. I'd recommend if you haven't, watch Raven Knight's video on it, because I won't be talking about all of her finer details of her lore. It is actually quite interesting storytelling. This is why I recommend watching Raven Knight's video on it. After the battle, flowers grew. Meiko was that flower, watered by blood, shaped by atrocities, but not defined by them, a humble kensei devoted to protection of her people. Meiko was beloved warrior and one of the few who took the time to enjoy the rare beauties of the harsh world. This was more than likely the reason why she was spotted with a smile on her face, even in the midst of battle. There was a spark in her eye, one that could never be dimmed, no matter the circumstances, but Meiko's resilience was tested when the yokai were freed from their prison. Meiko, the mythic hero who saved the people with bravery and a smile, but above all else, she wanted to shelter her only blood kin, her brother, who was captured in the clutches of the Jogumo. Meiko retains the armor she had worn as a human, but it has changed in the spirit of her becoming a half-demon. In her hand she wields a special yokai slaying blade, while keeping the Minamoto dagger on her hip at all times. With every little bit of strength she had left, with the might of the formidable kensei, she plunged the demon dagger into the spider's heart. The creature let out a piercing whelp, a vivid blue light emanating from the creature's very corpse. As its essence was absorbed by the blade, the last screams of the echo died out. Meiko fell to her knees, the light faded, and it was all over. Everyone in Temple Garden knows the tale of Kensei Meiko, who sacrificed everything to save her brother and her village. After killing the creature known as Jogumo, it was said that Meiko, fearing becoming an unstoppable yokai herself, asked her brother to seal her inside the cave that once held all the demons in their prison. Today, children continue to dare each other to touch the cave's door, but none are motivated by fear. They all give their respects and draw the bravery from one they call the Yokai Slayer. That's the brief story of Meiko the Yokai Slayer with her lore. I did skip over a lot of key moments, but this video I want to focus on the history aspect as well as the understanding of who she could be based off in history more than anything else. Now we're going to be taking a look at the finer details of her armor. The most interesting detail of this hero skin is the chestplate and the design of its creatures. They're actually from a tsuba, is a guard which is positioned at the end of the grip of the blade. The creature on the left I believe is supposed to represent a one-horned oni. I did find a similar design of a creature with two horns, but unfortunately I could not find any information about the actual artwork itself. It must be lost to time, or there was no real indication on what it was supposed to represent. Now for the creature on the right. The design is supposed to represent Minamoto Yoshitsune confronting the Tetsugumo. They like to live in forests, mountains, and making their homes in silk tunnels from which they can ambush passing by prey. Like other yokai spiders, they rely on illusions and trickery to deceive their prey. While the Jogumo uses their sexuality to seduce young men, the Tetsugumo have a wider selection of deceptions and other bigger ambitions. I believe Ubisoft is trying to tell us that the artwork is supposed to represent the brutality and cunning of yokai spiders. As well, during this event, the Jogumo did raise an army of yokai to fight for her, and some of them are actually quite peaceful, or at least not really involving themselves in much in human affairs. Now for the symbol on the helmet, Kasiwa. The meaning and the understanding of this kamon represents: in the winter, the dead leaves of the tree named Daimyo Oak do not fall until new ones start to sprout. In spring. Thus, since ancient times, Kasiwa has symbolized the community and strength of family ties across generations. The variant on her helmet is representing 3 katanas and oak leaves. Now for the biggest detail on her helmet, being the ornament and the flowing hair. Now the name of these helmets and understanding of them have been lost to time, and some of it has been debated about what their true name is, or their truly understanding of what they are. But the most famous variant of this helmet belonging to Takeda Shingen, was the daimyo of Kai during the Sengoku period of Japan, known as the Tiger of Kai. He was one of the most powerful daimyo of the late Sengoku period, and was credited with extremely important military power and prestige during that time period. Now I do have another helmet that's very similar to hers, being a Kawari Kabuku with a hair mane shaped as a fang-horned oni coming from the 17th century onwards to the 18th century. During this time period, a lot of helmets were very unique and very strange, and not a lot of information is known about these helmets and who they belonged to. Meiko, the yokai slayer, is half yokai. She was not born half yokai like Abe no Seimei, whose mother was a fox spirit. She returned to the forest, leaving her son behind, but giving him a piece of her magical powers. This came from a curse. The vast majority of yokai are born from the emotions of humanity, especially powerful emotions of fear, yearning, or hate. There are other ways for yokai to come into being, from natural disasters such as floods, earthquakes, or windstorms. She does have some tattoos on her body, the first one being an oni, known for their superhuman strength, as well as their evil nature manifesting in their enjoyment of murder and cannibalism. The second one being a tengu. They are a type of legendary creature found in Shinto belief, and they are considered a type of yokai. As well, they are renowned for their swordsmanship. The final tattoo being a honya. They usually reference a demon or an oni, more specifically female demons, who are women who are consumed by jealousy after being betrayed by their lovers. It is also a reference to a famous Japanese mask used in No theatre. You may have noticed the bell on her armor. The use of the bell and the vajra are symbolic and ritual tools found in all schools of Tibetan Buddhism. The vajra bell is the most commonly used instrument in Tibetan Buddhism, and its sound is believed to drive out evil spirits from the place where the ritual is performed. The prayer beads around her neck are japamala, is a loop of prayer beads commonly used in Indian religions such as Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, and Sikhism. It is used for counting recitations of mantras, praise, or other sacred phrases. It is also used to ward off evil. You can also see a water flask from ancient times. The bottled gourd is a symbol of happiness or success, as well as they were associated with divinities in the early semi-mythical chronicles. The gourd is one of the most beloved Japanese good luck symbols for centuries. It is a symbol of protection and health. On the shoulders and pants you can see some type of scale. The individual scales are called kozen, Japanese scale armor crafted from fish type scales. Gyoza gyozin was reportedly found in Japan as far back as the Fujiwara period, the 11th century. Now I'm going to be moving on to the inspiration of the hero skin. Now I have two concrete evidence on who she could be based off or have same inspiration from both of them, but I also have one that's more of a theory and less concrete, and it's just more of their similarities kind of match. For the design of the hero skin, I believe Ubisoft has taken some inspiration from the card game Legend of the Five Rings, based on feudal Japan. This card game has taken inspiration from the Book of the Five Rings by Minamoto Masashi. Two characters from this card game I think could have inspired Meiko the Yokai Slayer, but this is just a theory. There's not much real evidence towards it besides them looking very similar. So this is just kind of a fun fact, or possibly just something interesting to note. I believe Meiko the Yokai Slayer has a lot of inspirations from great stories, legendary warriors, and clans in the Heian period between 794 and 1185. Clans like the Minamoto were one of the four great clans that dominated Japanese politics during the Heian period in Japanese history. The other three were the Fujiwara, the Taira, and the Tekken Bani. Moving on to the first person I believe inspired this hero skin. Minamoto Yorimitsu was a Japanese samurai and folklore hero of the Heian period, who served the regions of the Fujiwara clan along with his brother. Yorimitsu served as a commander of the regiment of the Imperial Guard. Yorimitsu is usually accompanied by his four legendary retainers, known as the Four Heavenly Kings. The accounts of the legendary warrior Minamoto Yorimitsu has been in many legendary folklore tales. The Tsuchigumo transformed itself into a servant boy to administer venom in the form of medicine to the famed warrior. Yorimitsu suspected foul play. He slashed his sword at the boy, who fled into the forest. The attack broke the powerful illusion with the spider that he had on him. Yorimitsu and his retainers followed the track of the spider's blood into the mountains, where they discovered a giant monstrous spider dead from the wound Yomitsune had inflicted. Legends say Minamoto Yomitsune killed the monster named Sujin Doji with his sword, nicknamed the Slayer of Sujin Doji. The sword type is named Kekengogen, and it is a historical value of one of the oldest existing katana type weapons. Sujin Doji is a mythical Oni or demon leader of Japan. According to legend, he was killed by the hero Minamoto Yomitsune. Although the detached demon's discarded head still took a bite at the hero, who avoided death by wearing multiple helmets stacked on his head. Urimara Kasune is a weapon belonging to Minamoto Yomitsune. According to this legend, this sword could wield itself and take down demons, earning its nickname Demon or Demon Circle. Meiko the Yokai Slayer allows herself to become cursed to use the demon dagger to kill Jogumo and trap the rest of the spirits. She states, "If this is the price I must pay, let my soul serve as currency." I believe the story of Meiko is to be based off the tale of the first cursed samurai. Takayasha Haim is the daughter of Taira Masakado and a sorcerer who raised an army of yokai and attempted to conquer Japan. After Taira Masakado was defeated and his rebellion was destroyed, the imperial court declared Masakado's entire family to be traitors and ordered their execution. Two of Masakado's children somehow managed to escape their execution. One day, while exploring Mount Kuba, Yoshikado encountered a mysterious wizard named Niki Ishin. He informed him that he was the heir of Taira Masakado and gave him a magic scroll containing the secrets of frog magic. Yoshikado returned to his sister and told her everything. He gave her the scroll to study, and she became the master of frog magic and took the name Takayasha Haim. The two of them decided to fulfill their father's dreams of overthrowing the emperor and establishing a new order. Calling on surviving soldiers who remained loyal to her father's cause, using her newly acquired black magic, Takayasha Haim raised an army of yokai to continue her father's rebellion against the emperor. A brave samurai heard the rumors of an uprising and decided to investigate this closer, not falling for the first deception by Takayasha Haim, but she did ambush him with an army of skeletons and yokai. According to Utakawa Kiyoshi's famous painting, Takayasha Haim unleashed a Gashidokiro upon the samurai warrior, a giant skeleton as tall as a castle. Riding into battle on a great toe, Takayasha Haim assaulted the brave warrior. In the end, despite her black magic, she was defeated just as her father was, and her rebellion was snuffed out. A couple of interesting details to help with the connection of the story is multiple statues of frogs, as well as the exact painting of the giant skeleton. I do think the hero skin does have some relevance or even some inspiration taken from the story of Takayasha Haim. I don't know if it's just because of the black magic understanding of it, or even the references on the map and stuff like that, even the Curse of the Samurai aspect of it. But I'd love to hear what you guys think. Please tell me in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe because it really helps out the channel. And with that, I'll see you next time.